the local government units for the benefit of the public we serve. Again, mayong buntag at isang makabagong umaga sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Ma'am Janine, for that inspiring message. At this point in time, help me welcome the cluster head of PILG Zamboanga Sibugay, Mr. Benoni A. Galambao, to give us the overview of the activity.
Good morning. Asa man ang screen? So, good morning everyone. Pasensya sa mga technical
pasensya na po.
Pasensya sa mga technical kay medyo nag-practice pa rin uban din eh. Anyway, with regard to this webinar, this Zoom meeting, I would like to look back sa to ang VAWC, LCPC o sa CFLGA. With that, this activity that we are conducting today is aimed to improve the capacity of our local government units, of which we had been doing a lot, but we need to improve our capacity. And this is part of our capacity development agenda. Now, towards the different concepts and guidelines of these 3 programs. It is also our objective with this activity to strengthen the local councils and committees in the LGUs. Strengthen. That is why we are inviting all members of the LCPC and of the CFLGA. Hope that if dili sila naka-appeal, other members can share what they had learned on our activity this morning. And the third objective is to improve the performance of the LGU. As you can see, last time as we tried to compare 2022 result and 2023 result, na otro-otro, na inisaka, na iniubos. So, ug asa ang inyong figure anang naa with regard to the functionality of our local government units with regard to LCPC. So that is the face of our LGUs. Highest is Imelda. Di na ako hingan lang og kinsay lowest. But looking forward that we can improve this performance. As we can see that there is just one passer of CFLGA. It is only Imelda who passed the audit. And looking forward nga tanan na unta mo pass this year, kay importante kayo labi na sa atong SGLG. And thirdly, katong with regard to LCAT-VAWC, napay basic, but looking forward nga mahimo na unta nga everybody is mature. Kung dili mature, kon pag na ideal. But if di pa nato kaya ang ideal, di lang sa mature. So it is our dream o kuan kining aspiration sa Department of the Interior and Local Government to help the LGUs. And with that, this morning we will be discussing the enhanced guidelines on the operationalization of LCAT-VAWC. We will have this reorientation on our LCPC members on how to use. And lastly, we will look on the guidelines of the CFLGA audit. With that, thank you whole Sibugay, labi na sa mga pinalangga namo nga mga MS, mga MSWDO diha. And thank you very much and hope that we will enjoy having this work nga nakasalalay din sa tagsa. Good morning.
Thank you, Sir Galambao. At this point, may I present to you the house rules for our activity. May I request the Secretariat to please flash on the screen the house rules. Okay, while we wait po, ayan, okay na pala. So, next please. Yeah, so we have a few reminders po, during sa activity natin. The first is kindly rename your usernames using the format on the screen. Please put the LGU underscore your first name and your last name. For example, if you're from LGU EPIL, you can put EPIL underscore your name. Second most important reminder is to please fill out the online attendance provided in the chat box, because this attendance will be the basis for your electronic certificates, which will be sent after the activity. Third reminder is please mute your microphones at all times and open your cameras during the activity. This is to ensure po, your attendance and your attention towards our activity today. And fourth, use the raise hand react button if you have any questions and clarifications during the open forum.
Lang sa email ni Doc.
Pardon for the technical difficulties po, Yan. So at this point, may I request everyone to please switch on their cameras for the photo opportunity. So we have a total of 3 panels ba? Okay, so please switch on your cameras. Ayan, let's wait for a while para sa iba, Okay. So, ayan. I think everyone is ready. So, please hold on to your smiles po, So, let's smile. 1, 2, 3. So, next panel po. Hold on to your beautiful smiles. 1, 2, 3. So here's my slide. Okay, so last panel po. Smile lang po tayo. 1, 2, 3. Thank you everyone no for showing us your beautiful smiles. So to proceed to our program proper and discuss the enhanced guidelines on LCAT-VAWC, help me welcome LGOO2 Grisel A. Alardo.
Okay, mo para kayo.
Ay, nag-share skin sila na.
Ano mo po ko?
Okay, am I loud and clear po?
Okay. You're clear po, Ma'am Giselle.
Thank you, ma'am. To our municipal mayors and to all the members of our local committee on anti-trafficking and violence against women and their children and our local council for the protection of children, good morning po. So I will discuss to you the enhanced guidelines on the operationalization of local committee on anti-trafficking and violence against women and their children. Okay, so of course we all know that Republic Act number 9208 or the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2003 and Republic Act number 9262 or the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004 are the two laws that mandates our LGUs to enact measures and develop programs that will promote human dignity, protect the people from any threat of violence and exploitation, eliminate trafficking in persons, and mitigate pressures for involuntary migration and servitude of persons, not only to support trafficked persons, but more importantly, to ensure their recovery, rehabilitation, and reintegration into the mainstream of society in a manner that is gender responsive. So to monitor the implementation of these two laws and other women or VAW-related policies, and to address the problem of trafficking in persons and VAWC, the Department of the Interior and Local Government, Department of Social Welfare and Development, and the Department of Justice issued joint memorandum circular number 2010-1 or the creation of local committees on anti-trafficking and violence against women and their children. Further, the DILG issued Memorandum Circular number 2020-006, which provides for guidelines sa pag-monitor nato sa functionality sa atong LCAT-VAWC. So this serves as a tool to assess the functionality of LCAT-VAWC. So pursuant to the above and given changing policy environment, natay bag-ong gi-issue nga Memorandum Circular number 2023-181, which was issued on November 17, 2023. So this provides further guidelines on the operationalization of the LCAT-VAWC, especially of their roles and responsibilities. So these are the policy content and guidelines of Memorandum Circular number 2023-181. The LCAT-VAWC must be created at the provincial, city, and municipal levels. So dapat si local chief executive i-ensure niya ang creation and functionality of LCAT-VAWC in their jurisdictions according to the guidelines set herein through the issuance of an executive order within the first 100 days upon assumption of office. So, si MCAT-VAWC, excuse me. So this is the compass of the MCAT-VAWC provided by Memorandum Circular number 2023-181. Si chairperson, si municipal mayor gihapon, karon gi-specify na kung kinsa dapat ang vice chairperson. Sa previous nga guidelines, wala naka-specify dito no og kinsa ang si chairperson ang mopili if kinsa ang mag-co-chair sa iyaha. But sa ato ang enhanced guidelines, gi-specify diri nga ang vice chairperson is the chairperson of the Committee on Women, Children, and Family of the Sangguniang Bayan. For the members of the MCAT-VAWC, these are the composition of the members. Municipal Planning Development Officer, nani siya sa previous na guidelines. Municipal Social Welfare and Development Officer, of course, nagihapon ni siya. Si Municipal Health Officer, nagihapon. Municipal Public Employment and Services Officer, nagihapon. Kani ang bag-o sa atong enhanced guidelines, si Gender and Development Focal Person sa LGU. And si MLGOO of DILG, nana siya sa previous. Si Municipal Chief of Police of PNP, nagihapon. Kani bago sad ni siya si Municipal Liga ng mga Barangay Chapter President. And kani i-emphasize namo ni na member sa MCAT-VAWC, NGO representative from each sector. So there was a concern during the rollout training about ani nga member kay sa previous daw ang gibutang is one representative either ay sa tulo ka sector pwede ra isa. Okay, so sa enhanced guidelines, gi-specify jud diri nga NGO representative from each sector. So dapat naa jud sa women, children, and overseas Filipino workers. So if wala mo'y OFW sa inyong munisipyo, kinahanglan mo mag-secure og certificate Okay, so ang secretariat is si MSWD Ora gihapon. Okay, so next is the assessment of the LCAT-VAWC. The LCAT-VAWC is assessed in the following areas. So sa organization, 10%, meetings 10%, policies, plans, and budget 30%, and accomplishments 50%. So for organization, the LCAT-VAWC shall be created or reconstituted at the provincial, city, and municipal levels every 3 years through a local ordinance, executive order, or any similar issuance. The composition of the LCAT-VAWC shall be in accordance with this memorandum circular. Next is meetings. The LCAT-VAWC shall conduct regular, quarterly meetings to discuss plans and formulate local policies and implement and monitor programs, projects, and activities within the context of LGU ordinances and other issuances. So the agenda of such meetings shall include but not be limited to the development and implementation of policies, programs, projects, and activities relative to the promotion and protection of women's and children's rights, especially those victim survivors of DIP, VAWC, OSAEC, and SAM, GBSH in streets and public spaces, and other forms of gender-based violence. So si OSAEC is online sexual abuse or exploitation of children. Si SAM is child sexual abuse or exploitation materials. So special meetings may be called to address concerns not discussed in the regular meetings.
Ya, kinsa imong
Meetings,
ang tao na imong pataganon ana para kay laro pud namo.
the meetings shall be supported by notices of meetings, minutes of meetings, and attendance sheets duly signed by the head of the LCAT-VAWC Secretariat. Next is for the policies, plans, and budgets. So policies refer to guidelines, resolutions, or recommendations to protect the constituents from PIP, VAWC, OSAEC, and SISAM. GBSH is gender-based sexual harassment in streets and public spaces and other forms of gender-based violence, and or to provide support to victim survivors. So, naani siya ang ato ang enhanced guidelines nakabutang dito ang mga policies na pwede ninyo buhaton sa inyong LGU. Daghan kayo siya, so wala na lang nako siya gibutanan. In the interest of time, is limited raman ang atong oras. Naraman tayo 2 hours and we have 3 topics to discuss. So taas jud kay siya, daghan kay siya. So naay sa protection, prevention. So nakabutang siya dito. Don't worry, amo tagaan og copy ani sa enhanced guidelines. And so next is sa plans. So for plans, the approved AWP, the LCAT-VAWC must develop an annual work and financial plan. So dito nakabutang ang inyong PPAs to address the IP, VAWC, OSAEC, and SISAM, and GBSH, and other forms of gender-based violence in your locality, and the corresponding budget required to implement them. So dapat nakabutang na siya dito. The AWFP must be approved by the LCAT-VAWC's chairperson. Sorry, sige ko kawala. Hindi kayo ang Wi-Fi, sorry. So the approved AWFP shall be included in the approved AWFP shall be included in the annual investment program of the LGU to ensure funding for the implementation of the LCAT-VAWC's PPA. So kani siya sa budget na siya. So asa mo pwede mo kuha sa kung asa ninyo i-charge ang inyong mga PPAs. Pwede ninyo kaang sa LGU's 5% GAD budget, 20% development fund of the LGU, as provided for in Section 287 of the Local Government Code of 1991, particularly in the realization of the goals for social development and or the 1% LCPC, especially on PPAs for children. The LGUs are also encouraged to engage with private organizations that provide financial and technical assistance to further support the implementation of PPAs. So for accomplishments, remember nga 50% ni siya sa inyong total rating. So the accomplishments of LCAT-VAWC shall include the activities undertaken based on the approved AWFP. The LGUs through their LCAT-VAWC shall submit their annual accomplishment reports to the higher LCAT-VAWCs according to the following schedule. So for MCAT-VAWC, ang inyong deadline for submission sa inyong annual accomplishment reports is every 15th of November. I-submit ninyo siya sa PCAT-VAWC through the PSWDO. So the coverage of the annual accomplishment report will be from November 1 of the previous year to October 31 of the current year. So mo ni ang functionality level. If ang inyong rating is 20% and below, inyong functionality level is non-functional. If 21 to 50%, low functional. If 51 to 80%, moderately functional. And 81 and above, highly functional. So unsang mga documents that must be submitted by the LCAT-VAWC to the IMT or the Interagency Monitoring Team? Executive order or any similar document creating the LCAT-VAWC. So katunin sa organization ninyo sa LCAT-VAWC. Next is certificate of attendance or participation of the LCAT-VAWC members. Notice of meetings with agenda, minutes of meetings, and attendance sheets duly signed by the head of the LCAT-VAWC Secretariat. Annual work and financial plan dapat approved ni LCAT-VAWC Chairperson. Approved annual AIP, post-activity reports and the capacity building activities conducted by the LCAT-VAWC, post-activity reports on the information, education, and advocacy campaign activities conducted by the LCAT-VAWC. So, importante jud kaayo nga naamoy par every activity nga inyong makanda kay mo jud niyang pangitaon during assessment. So, data on cases of TIP, VAWC, OSAEC, and CSAM, and GBSH, and other forms of gender-based violence, and number of victims survivor nga na-provide ang mandatory services. Next is ordinance appropriating funds for the implementation of PPAs to address TIP, VAWC, OSAEC, and CSAM, GBSH, and other forms of gender-based violence in the locality. Next is approve GAD plan and budget, Children's Code, GAD Code, and annual accomplishment report submitted dapat kay PCAT-VAWC with an acknowledgement receipt. So mo niya nga to ang indicators and rating system. So for organization, first indicator nato is katong organization sa LCAT-VAWC. So dapat ang membership is in accordance with DILG-MC number 2023-181. So kaning enhanced guidelines sa ato ang operationalization of LCAT-VAWC. So if the LCAT-VAWC is organized or reorganized with the membership in accordance ani nga MC, so 5 points ang makuha sa LGU. If it is organized pero dili in accordance sa MC ang inyong membership, 3 points lang ang makuha. So di ba last year is if dili siya in accordance sa MC nga sa previous MC 0 siya diretso. So karon, gi-consider na nila naghatag sila 3 points. As long as organized siya, bahalag dili siya in accordance sa MC. Kung wala joy ma-provide nga MOV nga nag-organize mo or reorganize sa LCAT-VAWC, of course 0. So for the participation or attendance of LCAT-VAWC members to capacity building activities, if 50% of sa members sa LCAT-VAWC have attended capacity building activities, you have 5 points. If less than 50, 0. So you have an additional 2 points for expanded membership in addition to the prescribed LCAT-VAWC composition.
So naghapon ni siya sa previous guidelines. Next is for meetings. So we have 4 regular quarterly meetings. If nakakandak mo sa upat, you have 10 points. If tulura, 7.5. If duhara, 5. If isara, 2.5. If wala, 0. Additional 2 points if the LCAT-VAWC conducted at least one special meeting. And of course, dapat nakabutang dito kung na unsa inyong agenda nga nganong nag-conduct mo sa special meeting. Okay, so next is policies, plans, and budget. Formulation of the LCAT-VAWC annual work and financial plan. If namoy approve AWFP, you have 10 points. If wala, 0. So dapat approve jud siya kay last year during assessment naadyoy nag-present nga og AWFP nga kulang pag mga pirma. So next is integration of AWFP in the annual investment program. If integrated siya sa AIP sa LGU, 10 points. If not integrated, 0. So formulation of a policy on the prevention, so kung mga policies, if naka-formulate mo at least one identified policy, you have 7 points. If wala, 0. So presence of a resolution. Next indicator is presence of a resolution recommending to enact anti-TIP and anti-VAWC related policy or ordinance. So if naamoy resolution, you have 3 points. Okay, next is accomplishment. So first indicator for accomplishment, if naka-provide mo mandatory services to victim survivors such as but not limited to psychosocial services or counseling, medical, legal, education, or livelihood assistance, skills training, emergency or temporary shelter. If 76 to 100% of your victim survivors are provided with services, you have 10 points. If 51 to 75, 7.5. If 26 to 50, you have 5 points. And if 1% to 25% are provided with services, 2.5 inyuhang points. So if wala, just 0. Conduct capacity building activities for stakeholders involved in handling cases or working on issues related to TIP, VAWC, OSAIC, and CSIM, GBSH, and other forms of GVB. If nakakonduct mo 2 or more capacity building activities for stakeholders, you have 10 points. If isara, 5 points. So you have additional 2 points if the LCAT-VAWC engaged or partnered with other non-government organizations or civil society organizations, private sector for support in the conduct of the capacity building activities. Next indicator, presence of LCAT database. So if the database is updated, you have 10 points. So karon sa una if dili siya updated, 0 diretso. But karon if naamoy database but dili updated, you still have 5 points. Next indicator, conduct of information, education, and advocacy campaign activities against gender-based violence. Conducted 2 or more information, education, and advocacy campaign activities, you have 10 points. If isa lang, you have 5 points. Additional 2 points if the LCAT-VAWC engaged or partnered with other non-government organizations or civil society organizations or private sector for support in the conduct of the information, education, and advocacy campaign activities. Next indicator, submission of annual accomplishment report based on the approved AWFP. So if 81% to 100% ang inyong accomplishment rate, you have 5 points. So dapat magbase mi ani sa inyong AWFP sa inyong accomplishment report. So if 51 to 80%, you have 3 points. If 50% and below, or 50% and 1% 1 point. If 0, 0. So financial accomplishment report, if inyong accomplishment rate is 81% to 100%, you have 5 points. If 51% to 80%, you have 3 points. If 1% to 50%, you have 1 point. So you have additional points if the accomplishments of LCAT-VAWC are included in the LGU annual report, newsletter, or any similar document or posted on the official website or social media accounts of the LGU. So nagyapon ni siya nga bonus points last as a previous guidelines. So total ato tanan is 100 points. So that is all for the enhanced guidelines on the operationalization of LCAT-VAWC.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Grisel. Okay pa ba tayo? Ayan, so we will have our open forum later po, no, after the presentation of all our resource person. So may I request everyone sa mga may questions po to please reserve them later sa ating open forum. Or para sa mga may tanong na po ngayon, you may chat, no? Or you may put it sa ating chat box para ma-take note po ng ating secretariat so that you may be recognized later sa ating open forum. So to make sure po, no, na alert pa po tayong lahat, may I request everyone to please send a okay or thumbs up na react button. Let's see if nakikinig pa po ba tayong lahat. Yan, I can see Artie Lee, Ma'am Ging, thank you for your thumbs up. And may I remind everyone to please follow yung format natin sa ating username, following the LGU name, underscore your last name and then first name so that we may be able to recognize you properly later during sa ating activity. Ayan, thank you for your participation po. I would also like to remind everyone sa mga hindi pa po naka-fill out ng ating online attendance, so please do so. I'll just reiterate po, no, that the online attendance will be the basis para sa inyong mga electronic certificates sa ating participation. So please make sure and don't forget to fill out our online attendance. Okay, so I think ready na pong lahat. So at this point, to give us the reorientation po, no, on the LCPC, help me welcome our OIC Program Manager, LGO, to Ms. Janine Krishna P. Sinoy.
So, dagang salamat, Gwen. I'll just turn off my video kay ang internet connection sa office is intermittent. Anyway, this morning I'll be discussing the Municipal Council for the Protection of Children. So, the same lang ang guidelines, no, for the past 3 years, I believe. It started last 2021. And until now, wala pa siya na, wala pa yung bagong guidelines na gipagawas ang atuang central office regarding this. But I hope nga maminaw patang tanan, balag-balik-balik na ni. And if you have questions, kindly ibutang na lang sa atuang chat box para later atuang ma-answer. So what is Local Council for the Protection of Children? Ingon ang guidelines nga, it is a local community-based institution. So kani siya nga community-based institution is valuable and has strategic mechanisms for the efficient and effective implementation of policies, programs, and projects on all the major areas of concern for children. So, kanipod, no, ang LCPCs, dili lang siya organized sa city or provincial level. Giengganyo ang municipal and until the grassroots, ang barangay, nga aduna pod sila organized nga LCPC. Tapos, this council is fully harnessed to be an efficient, no, gibalik, gi-point out jud ang efficient and effective advocate of children's rights and implementer of all children's programs. So karon pa lang atong hunahunahon unsa may existing advocacy, no, nga aduna ta sa tuang mga munisipyo, and if kana nga advocacy is effective pa ba siya until karon. So kana no ato nang hunahunahon para sa pagplan nato pohon ang katong mga dili na siya applicable sa tuang mga municipality, ato nang matanggal ug makahuna-huna na pud tag initiative nga mas related ug mas makatabang para sa atuang mga kabataan. Unsa may purpose sa LCPC? So giingon, the LCPC shall be the main channel through which stakeholders, including child-focused institutions and NGOs and people's and youth organizations, are consulted. So their meaningful participation ensured in the planning and implementation. So dili lang planning taman ang ilahang role until the implementation of interventions and programs for children. So ang council po day no kinahanglan open with partnerships and collaborations. Dili lang need i-limit sa council na within sa municipality lang ang ilang partners. Pwede sad sila mo benchmark for best practices and mag-partner with NGOs para mas mulambo ug mahanay ang kalihukan sa council when it comes to the protection of children. So this is to ensure also that children's rights and welfare are mainstreamed in development plans of LGUs in all levels. It shall likewise assist the government in monitoring of the implementation of laws and national policies on children at the local levels. So again, dili lang tataman sa paghuna-huna og PPAs, but we also need to monitor the implementation of laws and policies in which the protection of children and or the welfare of children is considered. So kani siya nga kalihukan, dili lang ni siya himo-himo no sa DILG. Wala na mo gipalisod-lisod ang council sa audits, but nani siya mga legal basis. First, aduna tay Article 359 and 360. So under Article 359 ang gingon nga kinahanglan i-promote sa government ang full growth of facilities para sa mga kabataan. So kinahanglan aduna day schools sa mga baryo, no? Dayon kinahanglan naay mga centers sa barangays, and of course, organized ang ilahang council for the protection of children. Then Article 360 gingon diri nga kinahanglan no hatagag importansya ang education sa mga kabataan. So dili lang limited para sa mga kabataan, but tabangan ang mga ginikanan, no? Nga hatagan siguro sila, tudluan sila unsaon ang tarong nga pagpadako sa mga bata, unsaon ang tarong nga pag-provide sa mga bata, ug unsay mga pwede nga mga activities ang pwede nato mahatag sa ginikanan. May it be kanang provision of livelihood makaha. Then dili lang ni siya no sa kailangan po di ay ato ang lantawon ang mga katong mga giabandona nga mga kabataan. So the council shall protect and assist those abandoned children and also the mistreated, no? So take steps to prevent juvenile delinquency, i-adopt pod ang measures for the health of children, and promote the opening and maintenance of playgrounds. So naman ni siya sa tuang CFLGA ning playgrounds, no? Then coordinate the activities of organizations devoted to the welfare of children and secure their cooperation. So aduna po ay Article 87 of the PD 603. So children and youth welfare na siya. Every barangay council shall encourage, so same no, ang organization sa local council for the protection of children. Next is the RA 4881. Same lang, creation, the council for the protection of children. Then kani RA 9344, the Juvenile Justice Welfare Act, no? Gina-reiterate gihapon ang establishment sa atuang LCPC. And of course, kailangan ta mag-allocate from our budget og 1% para sa strengthening sa councils, sa council and provision of assistance or provision of basic services. And of course, the LCPC should participate in the formulation of the comprehensive plan and to oversee its proper implementation. So, i-make sure jud sa council that the PPEs for children is incorporated sa tuang CDP. That is to make sure that our plan for children will be prioritized as well. So, next, familiar naman kay Tani, no? Unsay composition sa MCPC? Walay changes? The chairperson is still the municipal mayor. The vice chairperson is the Sangguniang Bayan nga katong head sa Committee on Children and Women ba? The members, municipal administrator, municipal planning and development officer, the MSWDO nga grabe kasipag sa tong mga MS, no? MHOM now, the budget officer, the PESO, MDRMO, our MAO, Liga ng mga Barangay President, SK Federation President, Child Representative, our very own MLGOs, the DepEd PNP, and at least one CSO representative, parents representative, or others nga gusto mo appeal sa council. So, unsa may ato ang mga i-consider? So, child representative, dapat 10 to 15 years old. Tapos, active participant siya sa community, active member of an accredited or recognized organization, and kahibalo sa mga children's issues and concerns. Dapat 1 year siya nga residente sa barangay ug adunay good leadership skills. And ang pinaka-importante, adunay balanced views on gender, religion, ethnicity, and disabilities. So gusto lang ako i-share, no? Last time, gipa-attend ni Sir Junil sa Malangas sa ilahang Child Congress and nag-discuss po mi dito sa LCPC. And nakita na mo, no, grabe jud ka maalam ang mga kabatanunan dito. Kay balo sila sa issues, no? Dili lang socially but siguro family matters kay balo sila. And makabilib ang mga kabatanunan karon kay dili lang sila maayo sa pag-eskwela pero maayo pud sila mo analyze, no? Ug mo accept og mga kabag-uhan sa atuang sa generation nila karon. Next, consideration sa parent representative. So kinahanglan gyapon na LGU recognized ang parents organization nga gigikanan sa parent rep, organized for peace communities or barangay level parents, and gikinahanglan head siya or holds a position of influence within the organization. So kaning position of influence dili si Madam Marites, no? But si Madam adunay mga plano nga kalihukan para sa LGU. So unsay function sa tong MCPC? Kani master na sad kay tani. Number 1, formulate, develop, coordinate, and monitor and review all local policies. So include nato ang atuang mga barangays, no? In formulating, developing, and coordinating, and monitoring. Kay sa pila na katuig nga pag-assess, makita na to nga nayuban barangays kay maura gyud pod ang ilahang ma-provide tungod sa kalimit sa budget nila. So if makaya sa ato ang municipal council, mamalihog ni nga i-appeal po nato ang ato ang barangays. Then prepare an annual work and financial plan. Establish, maintain, and update a disaggregated database or local information system. So last year, during our assessment, nakita na mo nga improving yun ang disaggregated data sa atuang mga munisipyo. Pero nagyo ni tatak sa mo nga grabe kahanay, no, ang municipality of Ipil. nindot kayo. So, basin, pwede to siya na to mapangayo no or ma-share ni MSWDO sa ipil. So, kani unsa daw ang disaggregated data? This means breaking down information into smaller subpopulations. Like for example, pila ka buok ang disabled, no? Pila ka buok ang out of school youth and among others. So next is magkanya og advocacy campaign, no? So unsa man nga advocacy campaign sa promotion sa protection of children. Una-una nato kung naka-provide ba ta no until sa barangay level nga mga advocacies, but kami diri sa provincial office we will try to provide po sa tuang LGUs og kanang mga IEC materials for advocacy at least para po no nga harmonized or kanang unite or harmonized ang ato ang mga ihatag nga mga IEC materials. Then pagkanta og capability building activities for all stakeholders on children. So kanin isa na ni orientation, seminars, siguro strengthening pod sa council or uban pang makatabang para magkaroon og hanaw ang ato ang council when it comes to the protection of children. Provide assistance to children in need of special protection. So, based sa assessment namo, naana mo no, existing na ni sa inyo, ha? Then, make recommendations on the barangay on policies and PPAs. So, makita mo na to na no, sa ilahang mga PPAs, namapod sila BDP, basin pa data makatabang i-check kung kaning ilahang i-provide ba nga PPAs is relevant pa ba or wa ba ni gikopya sa other barangay nga relevant ito but pag-abot sa barangay dili di ay so tabangan nato ang ato ang mga barangay spot para dungan tatanang mulambo no when it comes to the protection of children. Then perform functions related to its mandate as it provided by laws and protection. And ang pinaka-importante mo sa ni kulang na to. Sorry, document the municipality and barangays PPAs and accomplishments on children. So, we are improving sa kani nga matter, no? But kulang pa gyud kay napag malimtan. And of course, dili lang man kita ang kikinahanglan nga mag-document kay naman tay partners, no? Like sa PNP. When it comes to when it comes to women and children, nasa sila yung mga advocacy campaigns or activities. So, pwede na to sila matap nga, ma'am. I-include ang LGU. Or, since partner man ta, makapangayoon ta mi sa inyuhang kanang mga documents. Kay mayo jud kayo ang PNP mo document. And coordinate its efforts to the concerned barangay officials. Pag makita na to nga naay kakulangon ng barangay nga need pa nato sila i-help nga dili pud ma-provide sa munisipyo ay nga pwede ma-provide sa munisipyo but if ever nga dili pud ma-provide ni munisipyo naa pud tay PCPC. And okay, gibalik na, sorry. Then conduct the CFLGA through the LCPC IMTF. So, ang CFLGA gusto na may congratulate ang Imelda kay sila palang nga munisipyo ang nakasulod sa CFLGA nung audit. But hopefully, sa ato ang pagtinabangay, siguro karon nga tuig madungagan, no? And murag early siya this year ang pag-andam for CFLGA kay early pud mi kanang orient para sa naay mga bagong guidelines nga or indicator nga i-present later ni Ms. Grizel. So unsa may functions sa tuang IMTF? So ang IMTF mag-gather, collect, and organize required data. So kani siya relevant din siya sa CFLGA, no? Meet with concerned barangay officials for feedback, feedback giving on the strengths and weaknesses kay of course sa barangays dito na to no dito magpili magitag barangays kung asa for example no ipatindog na to ang mga playground no dayon of course feedback giving makahatag sila kung unsay concerns and issues or kakulangon sa barangay so that pwede na to ma-provide if kayanon. So ang MCPC pud ay ang mag-provide no, ang mag-assess sa tuang mga barangays when it comes to BCPC. So dili lang si MLGO, dili lang si MSWDO. So gikinahanglan day ang council no lingkuran gyud. So this is mao ra ni sa akong presentation. Gusto na ko i-present balik ang indicators no para ma-remind lang ta. And I know nga para ma-remind lang ta aning mga gamitonon or kinahanglan nato andamon para sa atoang assessment. Klaro lang ang ako ang screen. Okay. So nato yung mga four major nga indicators no. Si organizational sustainability, policies and plans for children, si budget, and of course, ang service delivery monitoring. I know nga during sa mga assessments na may mga na-raise nga issues. And we tried last year no nga i-provide to nga mga concerns or nga mga intervention but dili gyud namo siya ma-provide fully tanan because aduna ko'y budget constraint ang DILG and ato ang partner no. So sige, para makakuha tag 5 points, 'di ba? Gikinahanglan nga organized ang ato ang MCPC. Unsa gikinahanglan? Prepared ang inyong executive order or ang local ordinance. The next is ang child representative from different sectors, no? Kinahanglan kani nga sectors kay inclusive. So naapoy executive order or local ordinance. Tapos naapoy resolution declaring ang LCPC's child representative. Kani, conduct of four quarterly meetings. So before there were considerations due to COVID, since na-declare naman nga wala na COVID or endemic na ang COVID kay pwede na gid siguro ta maka 4 quarterly meetings. Of course, i-include nato sa tong agenda ang CFLGA. So unsay MOVs ang pangitaon namo? Agenda of the meetings, attendance sheets, and of course, minutes of the meetings. Then, next is ang, sorry. So, during sa meetings po di ay, ikinahanglan nga, makahimo tag resolution. No? Kaya of course sa meeting, maka-identify man gyud tag mga issues. So, gikinahanglan, doon na po siya yung situational analysis through, nga maka-result into a resolution or recommendation for action. So, I believe, murag almost tanan munisipyo, no? Murag naka-start na gyud og include ani nga MOV sa during sa assessment nato. Then gikinahanglan 91 to 100% sa members naka-attend sa meeting. Tapos at least 91 to 100% sa MCPC naka-receive at least one capacity development training. So nana mo isa karon if nag-attendance mo, nana mo i-cert so pwede na nato i-attach sa tuang MOV. Of course, dapat maghimo pud mo PAR or feedback report and then photo documentation, which kami na sa karon nga activity kami ang mag-provide, and kaning capacity building plan, not necessarily basta kay ang importante sa mga ang PAR gyud. Okay? And then gikinahanglan no, emphasize kinamo Pierre, let us include our BCPCs. So if pada na to sila ma-providean og at least one capacity development training pod, no? Ang 91 to 100% sa BCPC. So nakainomdom ko naka-mention ang Malanggas nga nagbarangay-barangay sila, no? So kato pwede na to siya basta make sure nga na attendance sheet, certificate of participation, post-activity report, and photo documentation. Then if kamo ang naghimo sa activity, of course, ay nag-conduct sa activity, of course, kikinahanglan na mo ang activity design. Then establish disaggregated data, based ako na-mention ganiya. Tanan na, atunay establish disaggregated data. Excuse me. Then, ang LSCR, no? Murag halos tanan naman po naka-provide ani based sa assessment last year. Then LDPC, kinahanglan sa tuwang local development plan for children, 91 to 100% ang atuang accomplishment para makakuha tag 5. And then ang AWFPC, no? Kailangan integrated siya sa tuang AIP. So kinahanglan po 91 to 100% ang accomplishment. LCC, Local Code for Children, na naputanan. Then, kani, antod karon issue, ay kanang concern gyapon eh. We were supposed to provide you a template, no? Ay, siguro kanang murag, mag-orient po mi sa inyo ha. No, not orient, but nag-partner me with the DepEd regarding aning CPP. But last year, due to budget constraint, wala ni siya na-push. But right now, nag-letter namin, no, with the help of our PLGRC, contact me with DepEd, no, nakig-partner me, para maghimo na lang mi og template para sa CPP, para pod sa, madali na lang sa level sa atuang LGUs. And yes, kato siya para madali para sa tuang LGUs. So siguro within mga second quarter maka-provide namin sa inyo og template. So kana siya. So next is sorry, nag-loading. So, napod no, para maka-5, kinahanglan natay policies, resolutions, or recommendations, no? Within the term, nga na-enact within the term of the MCPC. And dapat natay at least one advocacy campaign. So, kato siya. So, kaning template is na naman ni copy ang atong MSN and MLGOOs. So, pwede na to ni siya balikan, no? And if you have questions, open lang kayo ang line sa group chat, no? Or diri karon pwede na to siya ma-question. So, next is moabot ta sa na ta sa second indicator, and that is the budget for the MCPC. So, para maka 5 points, dili lang ta mo settle, so 1% sa MCPC. Pwede po data, no, mo magkuha og additional budget, no? Siguro sa GAD ba or sa uban pa. Tapos kikinahanglan para maka 5 ta, aduna tay 90 to 100% utilization rate. So mao ni ang MOVs, no, receipts and expenditure, certification from budget officer and municipal treasurer, the financial report on the budget allocation, obligation and expenditure. Then next, third na dito, no, karon ang fourth is the service delivery monitoring and management for children. So aron makakuha tag 5, ikinahanglan nga 0% of violation ta sa confidentiality. Based sa mga assessment, maayo kayo tong mga MSWDOs, hanay kayo. confidential gyud no ang mga kaso nga ginahawiran nila. Though so kami among ginapangayo na lang is ang summary no sa cases kay dili mi pa da makabalo sa names, dili mi makabalo sa unsay yunod ato nga case because of confidentiality. Then dapat functional ato ang referral system. And yes, based sa mga assessment, 16 LGUs functional ang ilahang referral system. Then 91 to 100% nga CNSP cases kay referred siya sa appropriate office and naka-provide man po datong MSWDOs anak. Then ato ang mga CICL cases dapat documented siya sa CICL registry. Excuse me. Ang MS ang kabalo ani no na sila system ani ginasudlan last year gi-consider na mo to kay down ang ilahang system. Hopefully this year sa mga assessment dili na siya down no na improve na ang ilang system. And lastly, ikinahanglan 0% of reoffending of all successful diversion programs. So maura to siya. Dagang salamat ayo wala mo nakatulgo no. Pasensya sa akong voice kay medyo paus pa. Later we'll check kung na may questions and then we'll answer it. So we'll proceed to the next presentation. Thank you.
Yan. Thank you, Ma'am Janine. So now let's proceed po ano, sa next topic natin, which is the reorientation for the CFLGA audit, which will be presented to us no, by LGO2 Grisel A. Alardo. So while waiting po no, kasi medyo mahina po yung internet connection namin. So let's check up on our participants no. Calling the LGU Alicia, andyan po ba kayo? Are we still good? Yan. So how about ating participants from LGU Buog? Can you send po no a thumbs up na react? Yan. So how about sa ating LGU Diplahan? Yan, thank you. Okay pa ba? So from Imelda po ba? Sa ating participants from EPIL? Yan, thank you. Kabasalan po from LGU Mabuhay, LGU Malangas, LGU Naga, LGU Olutanga. How about po sa LGU Payao, RT Lim, CI Talusan, Titay, and Tungawan. Ayan. Very alert pa po ang ating mga participants. Thank you so much for listening talaga po, no? Okay, so now may I request ang ating resource person, Ms. Grisel A. Alardo. Ready na po ba si ma'am?
Yes, Ma'am Gwen, thank you. Okay, so hello once again, everyone. So this is just a short presentation, no? Kay i-discussion ako is amendments sa tuang guidelines sa CFLGA audit. So ang outline sa presentation is first is CFLGA objectives, assessment areas, indicators, passing rate, audit year coverage, and timeline of activities. So the objective of the CFLGA is to assess the performance of the LGU in implementing child-friendly policies, programs, projects, and services. So more specifically, it seeks to determine the level of performance of the LGUs para makita if na-implement jud sa ato ang mga LGU ang ilahang mga policies programs, projects, and nakahatag jud silang services sa ilang constituents. So next is to identify priority areas to improve the situation of children. Then utilize CFLGA result as basis for planning and programming, determine areas for technical and or financial assistance, and recognize good LGU performers. So these are the assessment areas for the CFLGA audit: survival, development, protection, participation, governance, and governance. So first is for survival. So the amendment for survival assessment area is the revised rating for the survival indicator 1.2, prevalence of malnutrition, is as follows. So operation timbang plus coverage of 60 to 110% is equivalent to 1 point, and the malnutrition prevalence status will follow the prevalence within the World Health Organization. So muna siya si sub-indicator 1.2, prevalence of malnutrition among children 0 to 59 months old. Next is for assessment area for development. So on the ang amendment aning indicator sa development is on the development indicator 2.2 on ECCD center-based services. The means of verification to be used is either the DSWD issued certification of accreditation or the ECCD Council issued certificate of recognition. So diri ni siya sa 2.2, presence of ECCD services in all barangays, either private or publicly managed. Next is for assessment area sa protection. So for protection, wala siya amendment. For participation, wala. Governance, ang amendment sa governance is sa sub-indicator regarding budget allocation. Sa una is total resources ang denominator nga gigamit, but karon is national tax allotment. So this is for sub-indicator 5.5, functional LCPC. So you have 3 points for functional municipal LCPC and 5 points for functional barangay LCPC. So for sub-indicator 5.5 sa barangay, functional BCPCs, the rating will now be based on the total number of barangays that meet all the 6 BCPC specific indicators under the SGLGB set in the DILG-MC 2023-103. So muna siya ang mga indicators. First is organization of the BCPC with its composition compliant to the provisions of DILG-MC 2021-039. Next, attendance of the members of BCPC to at least one training or orientation related to their functions. Then approved BCPC annual work and financial plan, database on children, updated localized flow chart or referral system, and at least 50% completion rate on PPAs in the BCPC plan, or at least 50% utilization rate of calendar year 2022 BCPC AWFP budget. So naay scenario dire, barangay A comprises 20 barangays. 12 barangays lang ang nakasatisfy sa SGLGB BCPC specific indicators. So di ba ang points sa ato ang functional barangay LCPC is 5 points. So since 12 raman ang nakasatisfy sa atong indicators, 5 points times 12 divided by ang number of total number of barangays, which is 20. So 5 times 0.6, ang points nga nakuha sa LGU is 3. Okay, so ang full score for survival assessment area is 15 points. Minimum requirement is 12 points. For development assessment area, 15. So sa tanan is ang minimum requirement is 80% of the full score, which is 12 points per assessment area and 32 points sa governance because 40 points ang iyahang full score. So ang audit year coverage is gikan sa 2022. So mo ni ang timeline for January. Activities under sa January is user registration and updating of accounts. So amo ana ning gisend sa ato ang field officers ang link for the user registration and updating of accounts. And then sa under gyapon sa January, online national reorientation for 2023 CFLGA. So nakandak na ni siya and then gi-roll out na mo sa inyo karon. So under gihapon sa January is the RIMTF to provide orientation to PIMTF on 2022 CFLGA and its guidelines. Kani wala pa ni siya nakandak. PIMTF to provide orientation to C or MIMTF on 2022 CFLGA and its guidelines. Next is the National Stress Test and Dry Run on 5 and 6 February 2024. So, for the audit proper, ang timeline is from February 7 to March 19. But ang audit is, ang audit mo ni ang audit sa municipal level. Sa provincial level, so di na natin i-discuss ang provincial and regional. And then for the month of June to July, sa national na ni siya. So mo to siya, for the municipal level, ang audit proper nato again is on February 7 to March 19. But ang PIMTF is mag-conduct og pre-assessment on February 7 to for the month of February to March. I-discuss siya later ni sa program manager sa DILG, si Ma'am Janine Sinoy. So, mo to siya ang amendments sa tong indicators for the CFLGA audit. If you have questions po, please put it in the na lang po sa chat natin para masagot natin sa open forum later. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Grisel. Before we proceed sa ating next presentation, may I call in once again LGO2, Miss Janine.
So, amo lang i-present ang schedule para sa pre-assessment sa LCPC and LCAT-VAWC. Pre-assessment din siya, kabalo naman mo nga tuwa nang na culture diri sa Zamboanga Sibugay nga mag-pre-assess me to give you time para ma-prepare ang inyong mga kulang para po tabang sa tuwang LGUs para mag-increase and nga dili lang gyud dapat table work ang atuang mga MOVs. So for the pre-assessment sa MCPC, mo ni ang schedule. February 5 to 6, Mabuhay Talusan and Nalutanga. February 7 to 8, Alicia Payo and Imelda. February 12 to 13, Buog Diplahan and Malangas. Then February 14 to 15, si Ay Kabasalan and Naga. February 19 to 20, Ipil and Titay. 21 and 22, Tungawan and Artilim. Then para sa LCAT-VAWC, so same lang ang schedule nato sa assessment sa MCPC kay usually ginadungan man nato na. As to the pre-assessment of the kanang CFLGA, so nagsabot mi diri nga with a focal person si Miss Grisel. Nagsabot mi nga pasugdo na namo ang LGUs mag-andam sa MOVs. So same ra sa daan but nalay mga additional para mas pag-abot sa panahon nga mag-uploading na ta, pas-pas na to ang pag-upload o dili na kanabitaw magka-problema pag-abot sa panahon nga na confirm na di ay dayon pagkahuman kulang pa day ang na-upload or mali ang na-upload. So lisod man gud kayo mo request for rework. So starting next week, January, check na ko ang ano. So January 15 until February 7, mag-prepare na ta sa MOVs para ready na ang uploading. And we would also like to remind na karon ang deadline para sa katong user account registration if kabalong ato. So daghang salamat.
Thank you, Ma'am Janine. Now, let's proceed to our last presentation po, no? Which is the orientation on Kalinisan sa Bagong Pilipinas program, which will be given to us by I stand corrected po. So now we will proceed po sa ating open forum. Ayan. Sa mga nag-send po ng mga questions natin sa chat box, we will be acknowledged first, no? So first question is from PILG Bitlahan, Sir Lemuel. So does the PSWDO develop award system for LCAT-VAWC and other social protection po?
So, good morning, Sir Lem. Salamat, no? Actually, if you're aware na in partnership of the PLGRC and in partnership of the PLGU, natay ginatawag nga Sibug Awards. So, gi-include gid namo didto ang LCAT-VAWC and ang LCPC until the grassroots level na sa barangay nga mahatagan og recognition and incentives ang atuang high functional or ideal barangays and municipalities. So hulat-hulat lang ta sa announcements. Sa announcement kanu sa gyud ang final nga Sibug Awards kay motong start, no? And of course ato ang ginahatagag value ang atuang mga councils and committees because of their hard work, no? And ang pag-strengthen gyud to provide intervention and PPAs para sa children and women. So kato siya.
And thank you po, no? So the next question comes from LGU Malangas, from Jeannie Claire Dayonot.
Kung wala existing organization for OFW, kung saan pwede i-present?
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am Jeannie. So, sa gingon pa nako ganiha, ma'am, if wala existing OFW sa LGU, pwede mo magkuha og certification from OWA or the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration. Mangaya mo dito og certification nga wala mo'y OFW sa inyong LGU. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Rizal. Thank you, Ma'am Jeannie. So, sino pa po may question? You may also virtually raise your hand po, no? So, we have here MPDC Pungawan who raised their hand po. You are acknowledged po. You may open your microphone and your camera. Nandito pa po ba si MPDC Pungawan? Okay, so wala na po pa mga questions? Yan. So I see no one raising their virtual hands and chatting their questions. For further clarifications po, you may contact po our officers no dito sa DILG. So they are just one chat away. So I would like to remind again everyone to please fill out their attendance po, no? So mga hindi pa po nakapag-attendance, I'm just reminding you again. And the link for the attendance is in the chat box. Please check it out. And this will be the basis again for your electronic certificates. So ayan. So for the closing remarks no, before we end our activity, may I welcome po no our LGO6, Miss Alice Y. Alvarado. Ma'am Alice.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Am I loud and clear?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, so sa tanang mga empleyado sa gobyerno nga nag-share sa inyong valuable time para lang yun para sa kalambuan sa ato ang different LGUs. Thank you for your presence. And we do hope, no, our department are hoping ma-upgrade nato ang ato ang gustong ato ang mga services, especially to our children nga maoy vulnerable, no? So we have to give them more time, and of course tutukan nato nga masulbad nato ang mga problema when it comes to children. And also, let's take a look nga ang ato ang mga plans and programs ron mahitabo nga mura siya og competition. Not only ato ang lantawon for the awards nga ato ang madawat, kundi para lang yun po nato mahatagan og saktong serbisyo ang ato ang mga plans and programs nga giplano nato nga ma-realize siya with, of course, corresponding budget. So to everyone, thank you for sharing your valuable time, and we do hope nga ma-upgrade nato ang ato ang mga ratings base sa ato ang nakita sa pag-present ni Sir Binoy kaganina. Kung asa man ta, we hope nga mosaka ta, not only for our LGU, but of course for our own satisfaction as the service providers. So once again, good morning, and in behalf of our department, salamat sayo sa tanan. Thank you, Ma'am Queenie.
Thank you, Ma'am Alice. So, once again, thank you sa lahat po, no, for participating, for giving your time to participate sa atong activity. We extend our gratitude po. So, once again, reminder na po sa mga hindi pa nakapag-attendance before we end. And that's all po. Have a great day, everyone.
Lang, nahumana.